Problem two is the one that Senator Matthews talked about. The general problem that we do a good job of treating sickness, but we're not very good at keeping people well in the first place. We got to do a better job of keeping people well in the first place. And the third problem is our costs are all out of whack with all other countries. Just listen to this. We spend 16% of our income on health care. No other comparable country, all the rich countries, Japan, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, you name them all, no other comparable wealthy country spends more than 11. The difference is $700 billion a year, the size of our trade deficit. So you say, well, we must be getting something for it. Well, they insure 100% of the people, we insure 84. So you say, well, the other 84, they must be really getting something for it. We're ranked in the 30s of all wealthy countries, in the 30s in life expectancy and overall health. Now, some of us get something for it. If you get really sick in America, it's still the best care in the world. Otherwise, somebody else would be giving a speech today. Right? That's where I have a serious heart problem. So if you really need something, it's still the best in the world. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So I don't want to tell you, but you can talk to any doctor, any nurse, anybody will tell you, this system is so disorganized and poorly organized. There's actually been a study done by McKinsey & Company, not an arm of the Democratic Party, a corporate consulting firm, to tell us where the money went. $200 billion we just waste every year because of the way we insure health care. Yep. Everybody trying to make smaller and smaller groups, and the insurance companies trying to market the insurance and try not to cover people. Then when they cover them, they try not to pay, or at least to delay paying. And then, because they get the flow, right? And then the poor doctors and clinics and hospitals, they're trying to get paid. 2 million of your fellow citizens go to work every single day and play tug of war over health care money, and you pay for it. We pay more. We're the only country in the world that has no restraints or no bulk bargaining for prescription medicine, including others with huge drug industries. So we pay $66 billion more a year than anybody else does, even though on average we use less medicine per person than most other countries. Yep. And then there's the problem that we don't have electronic medical records, and that we pay by the procedure instead of by the cure. So we spend about $380 billion a year on duplication, unnecessary procedures, and the way we manage our care. If we managed all care in America the way the Mayo Clinic managed theirs, everybody knows it's as good as anything, right? Cut healthcare costs about 20%. That's why Hillary has led with trying to restrain costs and promoting health. Safeway decided to pay all of its employees that didn't smoke all of their co-pays for preventive and primary health care. To put it in, you know what happened? Their costs went down 15% the first year. Because people stayed healthier by investing in prevention. So, we're going to have universal coverage, a health care, a promotion of health and not just sickness, and controls of costs that can be eliminated. She knows more about that than anybody else. We got to do this. This is an economic and a moral necessity for America's future. We have to do it. There are three things that Hillary wants to do in education that I think are worth mentioning. One is universal pre-kindergarten. Give all kids a chance now. Two is recognizing that the Bush administration has taken away many of the gains that we put in. We had the biggest increase in aid to college in 50 years. 50 to 60 years ago, we had 10 million more people getting college aid. Now the Congress, the Democratic Congress that just passed, has fixed some of what they did. But her program is universal access to college and universal access to 2 years of post-high school training for people that don't go to four-year college. And the third thing we have to do is to rewrite that Leave No Child Behind. We're all for standards. We have supported the charter school movement, but giving kids 5 tests 5 years in a row, where each state gets to pick their own test and passing score, and the feds say we're going to pay you based on how well your kids do, you get the worst of all worlds. The states that have hard tests and high scores get punished. But even the states with low tests and low scores, easy tests and low scores, the teachers have to waste too much time just teaching the test.
Yes.
It would be fine if you just gave 3 tests that really meant something over the entire life of the kids' experience in school and spend more money working on recruiting good teachers, having the right principals, and creating a good scorecard. For example, I'm telling you this because I think my wife probably spent more time in public school classrooms than anybody to run for president. For a long, long time. She oversaw the overhaul of our school regulations in Arkansas. If you look at the schools that are really doing well against all the odds, and the school districts, take the Raleigh School District in North Carolina, best performing big school district in America. What do? No more than 40% of the kids in any school can be below the poverty line. What does that do? That guarantees you an influx of parents into the schools, and it guarantees you a school climate in which every child is taught to believe that he or she can learn, and to be expected to learn. And if you can't do that, then you've got to do what we do at the Frederick Douglass Academy, less than 1 mile from my office in Harlem, where 99% of kids are minority, more than half are below the poverty line, 90% of them go to college, over 90% of those graduate on time, and they score above the New York state, not city, state average on the high school graduation exam in New York. Why? Because they are taught that they can all learn. There is a culture that makes them believe that they can learn. So, I don't think there's any question that she got the best education program and knows more about that. Then there's a whole question I hear about electability. Will people really elect a woman? And the Republicans have beat up on her so many years. And can't she be elected? First of all, the people who say that have the problem of the polls, where she does the best of all the Democrats against the Republicans. That is a problem. But let's just look at what's behind that. When Hillary ran for re-election to the Senate in 2006, she ran in a state that voted for John Kerry over George Bush. But New York has 62 counties. 40 of those counties voted for George Bush over John Kerry. They're so-called red counties. You know how she did in the re-election campaign in those counties? 60%. Why? Because they knew her, not what people had said, they knew her. Then she went back to Arkansas the other day to give the Jefferson Jackson Day speech. And there was a poll in the morning paper, running her against all the Republicans, including our immediate past governor, who finished second in the Iowa straw poll. Did you see that?